props from his uncle on the rail. But a pair that still has chips, six-time bracelet winner Min Win and his wife Van.
My lovely lady, my wife. I did so good, huh? Didn't I? WPT champion, first lady. Just say something to the camera. Oh, you can eat, baby.
I don't think so.
Say it.
I don't think so.
Elsewhere, an old school, new school matchup. The seasoned Mike Matusow engaged in battle with top internet player, 21-year-old Andrew Roble. Matusow has put out a bet to Roble. Roble thinks better of it and folds.
I know he's coming after me. Don't worry. This ain't the internet.
This ain't the internet, one of Mike's favorite lectures.
An internet move ain't gonna work here. Because I can see him, and I can see what he's doing.
Mike's on his game. Also in the field, two imposing pros squaring off. Howard Lederer has moved all in with ace-king against the pocket nines of Jean-Robert Balland. Flop now. 6-10 deuce. That misses Lederer. Balland still ahead. Turn card. It's a tray, no help to Howard.
Lederer needs an ace or a king.
River card is a 6, and that's going to do it. Howard Lederer is gone.
The professor made the final table in his first main event ever in 1987. It's been 20-plus years of frustration since then. He's only cashed in the main event one other time.
Maybe the most entertaining duo of the day, two Las Vegas pros, Phil Locke and Michael Carroll. Carroll was sitting next to Jerry Yang on day one. Today's going to be a little different.
Swing around. I'll show you my hand. Swing around. You want to see my hand? Swing around.
I'm giddy with anticipation, Lon.
Phil Locke wants to show us his cards. Ooh, pocket aces.
Don't be looking in the lens to get the...
Phil Locke keeps it light and loose at the table.
His opponent is Andrew West in seat 9, and he's going to give it out.
Chemical Brothers, baby. Chemical Brothers. Man, Chemical Brothers is the best. When you're getting good hands, you want Chemical... Bad hands?
That's how it goes.
Bad hands, fold with Billy Joel. Chemical Brothers.
Phil Locke is always the consummate showman at the poker table, and day one of this main event was no different as he took his antics to an entirely new level.
I saw an old episode of Jackass, and Johnny Knoxville was doing his old man stuff. It just clicked. I went, that's what it is. I'm going to be the old man. I just decided if somebody said, what's your name at the table, I was going to say Walter. And in my mind, I was going to be like a chicken farmer in Bangor, Maine. I sat in the makeup chair 6 hours. It was as good as you can do with 1 day notice, but it was not tight. I didn't want to spend more than like 10 seconds talking to anybody, because if you looked at me, it was like I was a carnival creation of somebody's imagination.
I had you 80%.
I started conversations, but mostly I just nodded and was like, nice hand. Chicken coop got away on that one. Whatever I could come up with, you know.
They came up from the barn and they're all geniuses.
It was worth it, but I wouldn't do it again. It was incredibly time-consuming. Walter will not be making another appearance. I guess it's kind of like a marathon. You do it once and that's enough for any human.
He ran out of time, so he can only put makeup on one of his hands. He chose his left hand, even though he is right-handed, because he wanted to force himself to use his left hand so he would fumble the chips a little bit, and he just kept his right hand under the table.
That is one complicated stunt. Phil Locke owns no bracelets. Of course, he and the rest of the field fighting for that main event bracelet. A number of players who own one are still in action. One of them, Chris Moneymaker at our featured table, who has pocket queens.
Since Moneymaker won the big one 5 years ago, he's cashed in just 3 World Series events.
He raises the action to $1,500 over to Eli Adler, a 22-year-old stock trader from Philadelphia.
And Eli is a very good chess player.
Ace 6 raises to $4,500.
Well, maybe chess is his better game.
Action on David Einhorn, and he folds.
Man, there are a lot of smart people at this table.
Back to Moneymaker. Moneymaker with pocket queens just makes the call. So he and Adler will go heads up to the flop. You mentioned his chess prowess. Adler was a national chess champion in 3rd grade. The flop is King 9 Jack. Pair of queens still good for Moneymaker. He adds a straight draw, and he checks.
It's pretty simple. Most flops are heads up. The most aggressive player wins the pot most of the time.
Moneymaker checks. Adler checks.
Nobody listens to me. Nobody.
Turn card now.
Turn card.
5 of diamonds, no help to Adler. Moneymaker still with a big advantage.
It's pretty simple. Most turns are heads up. The most aggressive player wins the pot most of the time.
Moneymaker checks. Adler now being aggressive, $5,100.
There you go. He bet $5,000 with nothing. I believe the pot is his.
So Moneymaker is going to shrink away, you're saying?
Yes.
Moneymaker with the call.
Okay, I didn't plan on that.
All right, heads up to the river now. And 9 of clubs gives Moneymaker the check mark.
Well, it's pretty simple, Lon. Most rivers are heads up. The most aggressive player wins most of the time.
Moneymaker trying to figure out why Adler's still around. He's going to make it 7,500. So now it's Moneymaker's, right?
If Adler comes over the top, I don't know what Moneymaker does. I mean, it's been a while since he won the main event. Do it, kid.
What do you got over there? What are you thinking about? Queens? King scares you?
Pop him. Pop him, Eli. And if Chris calls, I apologize.
Let's give that.
Adler will lay it down.
Chris still a champ. He knew where he was at in that hand.
Plenty of potential danger on that board, perhaps cause for concern for Moneymaker, but he still felt his queens were best, and that is the Planter's good instinct moment.
The Planters' Good Instinct moment is brought to you by Planters. Instinctively good. 2008 World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, main event.
Back inside the Rio Poker Room on a day we could call Champions Day, with 7 past world champions in action, including the current champ Jerry Yang with ace-queen. He'll see a flop with Blake Stepp, who played pro basketball in Europe. Stepp is behind with ace-10. Flop is Jack-King-4. Ace-queen for Yang is still best.
Jerry says he still considers himself a true rookie, but if you're at the table with him, you're playing against the main event champ.
Both players with straight draws to the ace. Stepp checked. Jerry bets 4,000. And Stepp will fold.
Everyone's so serious.
We were just worried that Jerry might go bust and then we wouldn't be on TV anymore.
Stay as long as you can, all right?
I'm going to try, you know, my goal is to win back-to-back, so it's going to be rough and tough, but...
My goal is to win back-to-back divorce cases. It is rough and tough.
Jerry's got one of the great Las Vegas stories, but topping that is the one of Archie Karras, who ran his bankroll up to $40 million over the course of 3 years.
Of course, Archie not only went from 0 to $40 million, he then went from $40 million to 0 in 2 years.
Archie made a bet, now facing a raise from Cornell Pizarra. Pizarra was Mike Matisso's nemesis at the featured table on day 1. And Archie shows a 7 and lays it down. Pizarra will take that pot.
That guy bluffed you? He's tough, man. I gave him 27,000 chips on day
Archie's been bluffed by the best in his life.
This guy a pro over here. Should I watch out for him, Mike?
Archie?
Yeah.
Watch out for his chips coming your way.
Archie made a final table at this year's World Series in the Raz event, where Barry Greenstein won a bracelet. Across the room is a man who has broken his own record of being the oldest to ever play in the main event, 95-year-old Jack Urey.
Good job.
But Jack Urey has been knocked out.
Thank you, brother. Maybe I'll do better next year.
Maybe next year I'm picking Jack Urey instead of Phil Ivey.
The main event always filled with incredible people and inspirational stories, and none more so than that of Mike Wilson. Mike was born with no arms, but still handles the rigors of long hours at the poker table quite well. Mike managed to work his way through a treacherous day 1 with 16,000 chips. Right there, he wins a small pot.
Mike was knocked out quickly in the only other main event he played in 2 years ago.
It is quite amazing how Mike handles his chips and his cards just using his foot. Mike's strongest asset, though, may be his mental toughness. He has never let his condition keep him from living a full life.
Where people say to me, you know, how long did it take you to learn how to do that? My standard answer is, how long did it take you? My